I never imagined this would be my life, but here I am, staring at my wife across the dinner table, an envelope between us that holds the answer to a question I wish I'd never had to ask. My heart races, my hands trembling slightly as I slide the envelope across to her. Her eyes dart from it to me, and I can see it in her face before she even opens it. She knows. She knows exactly what I'm about to ask. Want to explain this? I say, my voice cold, almost foreign to my own ears. Her face goes pale, as if the blood has drained from her skin. She sets the fork down slowly, her gaze locked on the envelope, then back at me. The room feels like it's shrinking. Time slows down, and in that moment, everything I thought I knew about my life begins to unravel. It started a few years ago when we first brought our son home from the hospital. I remember holding him for the first time, his tiny hand gripping my finger, his soft breaths against my chest. I had never felt anything so pure. He was mine. I told myself that over and over, as if trying to convince the world, and myself, that this little boy with his wide eyes and dimpled smile was a piece of me, a reflection of my love for my wife. She would always say, "He looks just like you," as if her words could seal the bond, make it irrefutable. And in those early days, I believed her. After all, who wouldn't? He had my dark hair, my broad shoulders, and the same mischievous glint in his eye. But as the months passed, something didn't sit right with me. Small things. Subtle things. His smile, it wasn't quite mine. His eyes were a deeper shade of brown. His laugh was so different from mine. I tried to push the doubts away, but they festered. Then came the comments from family, from friends. "He's a perfect blend of both of you," they would say. "He looks so much like you, it's uncanny." But it wasn't. It wasn't uncanny at all. I began to question whether I was just fooling myself. I couldn't shake the nagging feeling, the tiny voice in the back of my mind growing louder every day, whispering that something wasn't right. I never wanted to confront it. I wanted to believe in my family, in the life we had built. But the question kept gnawing at me. What if he wasn't mine? The turning point came when I noticed something about her, her silence whenever I asked how our son was doing. She would smile, but there was something in her eyes, a hesitation. She had always been open with me, always an open book, but now there was distance in her gaze, a kind of guardedness. I felt like I was on the outside of something I was supposed to be a part of. That's when I decided to act. I had heard of DNA testing before but brushed it off as something unnecessary. Then the thought grew stronger. What if? What if I was just a man in a story that didn't belong to me? I found a discreet company online, ordered the kit, and before I knew it, I had the results sitting in a drawer, untouched, waiting for the right moment. Yesterday, as I held the envelope in my hands, I had no idea what to expect. But deep down, I knew. I knew that the truth was staring me in the face, waiting for the right moment to break me. And that moment was now. As I placed the envelope on the table, I watched her face. The tension in the room was suffocating. My heart pounded in my chest, and for the first time in years, I didn't know how to breathe. She picked up the envelope, her fingers trembling, and slowly opened it. She didn't look at me right away. I watched her face change, her eyes widening as she read the results, her lips parting, but no words coming out. A storm was building in her eyes. Then, finally, she met my gaze. I can explain," she said, her voice barely a whisper, shaking. But it was too late. The question I had asked had already been answered. My son wasn't mine. The results were definitive. The room was silent for a long, unbearable moment. I didn't know what to feel. Anger, betrayal, heartbreak, all of it swirled together, choking me. She had betrayed me. But more than that, she had betrayed our son. She had taken a part of my soul and tossed it away, leaving me to pick up the pieces. "Who is he?" I asked, my voice trembling now, not with anger, but with the crushing weight of it all. Her eyes filled with tears. I was scared. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want to lose you. It was a mistake, a one-night thing, before we were married. It was before we knew we were ready for this life. The room seemed to spin around me. I couldn't focus, couldn't think. My mind raced, trying to process everything, but I couldn't. It was too much. That night, I went to bed with my mind heavy, but also, for the first time, lighter. The truth had come to light, and now I had to decide what to do with it. But one thing was certain, I couldn't keep living this lie. Weeks have passed. I'm still here, still trying to figure out what comes next. I've chosen to raise my son as my own, for now. The love I have for him doesn't change. But it's a long road ahead. I can't forget this betrayal, and I can't ignore the cracks that now run through my relationship. And as for my wife, I don't know if we'll ever be the same again.